The RACE strategy is a great tool for helping students of all ages with their writing. The R stands for restate the question. The A stands for answer the question. The C stands for cite evidence. The E stands for explain your answer. By providing students with a formula that they can follow, they can write full and thoughtful answers in response to questions. This, in turn, helps them build their confidence with writing. Now let's break down each letter in more detail. R. Restate the question. Here, you want to turn the question into a statement by restating or rephrasing the question in your own words. This can help remind you of what you're responding to, and ideally, it should be the first sentence of your answer or essay. For example, if the question is, why is it important to recycle? You could start by saying, it is important to recycle because A. Answer the question. After restating the question in your own words, you should now start to answer or elaborate on your statement. In this part, you would write sentences that would state why you hold your opinion. You want to answer the question without repeating the same words unnecessarily. If we look at our first example, we can add to it. We can say, it is important to recycle because it lowers pollution and keeps our environment cleaner. C. Cite evidence. Next, you need to prove it. You need to support your answer with evidence or examples. You can do this by referencing data, specific facts, quotations, or other sources of information. Using sentence starters like according to the text or the author states are good ways to introduce your citations. Let's build off the previous examples and write it like this. E. Explain. Now you need to provide further clarification and explain how your evidence supports your answer. In this part, you will tie everything together with sentences that explain your answer. Another way to think of this is to state why your evidence matters. Now, we can put it all together by putting all of our information into paragraphs with some added details. The RACE strategy is not a hard concept to teach, but you should have a few steps in place to make it more effective. First, start by modeling a few examples with students together as a class. Read the text together and have students write along with you as you explain the steps. Choosing the right text here is key. It should be easy to understand, yet also rich enough to give students a chance to write a good response. Adjust the difficulty depending on the level of the students. Second, explain any vocabulary students might not know. Depending on the age level, you may have to explain words like cite or evidence. Provide examples if they don't know the words. Third, use color coding to highlight each part of the RACE strategy in each student's response. Adding a visual element can help put together the strategy even more. For example, blue for restate the question, yellow for answering the question, orange for citing the evidence, and green for explaining. Of course, you can add whatever colors you like. Fourth, use visuals. Hang posters or make anchor charts together. The more students are visually exposed to the concept of race, the more likely it is to stick. Finally, provide feedback to students. As the students are writing their responses, you can walk around and provide feedback or have them come up to your desk periodically to check on their progress. With regular practice, students can improve and build their confidence in writing. Until next time.